What if I told you your CNC part can look perfect, measure almost right, and still fail inspection? No broken tools. No visible defects. No obvious mistake. Yet rejected. Why? Because the real errors are hidden. You followed the program. You trusted the machine. You double-checked dimensions. Everything seemed fine. But inspection says crossmark fail. And the worst part, you don't even know what went wrong. It's not always about wrong tool, wrong feed, wrong material. Sometimes it's the tiny, invisible mistakes that destroy your entire part. Mistakes you don't see, but inspection always finds. So what are these hidden errors? Let's break them down. If you've ever worked on a CNC machine, you've probably faced this. Why tried pointing backhand index a part that looked perfect but failed QC? Why tried pointing backhand index hours of machining, wasted in seconds? Why tried pointing backhand index that moment when inspection says, out of tolerance? And you stand there thinking everything was correct, right? You are not alone. Every machinist, beginner or expert, has faced this frustration. Because CNC failure is not always loud and obvious, sometimes it's silent. Let's expose the real reasons your CNC parts fail inspection. 1. Keycap tool where you ignored. Your tool looks fine, but it's not. Slight wear is equal to dimensional variation. Dull edge is equal to poor surface finish. Heat buildup is equal to micro distortion. Why try pointing backhand index? Even a 0.01 mm change can fail inspection. 2. Keycap thermal expansion, heat lines. Metal expands when heated. During machining, the part heats up. You measure it hot. It cools down, shrinks. Now it's undersized. Why try pointing backhand index? Inspection happens at room temperature, not cutting temperature. 3. Keycap improper work holding. Your setup feels tight but slight vibration. Tiny movement. Uneven clamping. Result. Why try pointing backhand index? Inconsistent dimensions. Why try pointing backhand index? Poor parallelism. Why try pointing backhand index? Hidden geometric errors. What if the problem isn't your machine? Your CNC part looks flawless. Surface smooth. Dimensions almost perfect. And still crossmark rejected. No broken tool. No visible defect. No clear mistake. So why does inspection fail it? Because the most dangerous errors are the ones you can't see. You ran the program perfectly. You trusted your setup. You checked everything twice. Nothing looked wrong. But inspection says, fail. And now you are stuck wondering, where did it go wrong? Here's the truth. It's not always about crossmark wrong tool, crossmark wrong feed, crossmark wrong material. Sometimes it's the microscopic, silent mistakes that destroy your part. Mistakes that hide during machining but show up during inspection. Let's uncover them. If you've ever run a CNC machine, you've felt this pain. Why try pointing backhand index? A perfect looking part rejected instantly. Why try pointing backhand index? Hours of work gone in seconds. Why try pointing backhand index? That cold moment when QC says out of tolerance. And you are left thinking everything was right, wasn't it? You are not alone. Even experienced machinists face this. Because CNC failures aren't always obvious, sometimes they're silent killers. 1. Keycap tool where you didn't notice. The tool looks okay, but performance says otherwise. Slight wear is equal to dimension drift. Dull edge is equal to rough finish. Extra heat is equal to micro distortion. White right pointing backhand index, even a tiny deviation, 0.01 millimeters, is equal to fail. To keycap heat deception, thermal expansion. During cutting, everything heats up. You measure while hot. Metal expands, then cools and shrinks. White right pointing backhand index, what passed earlier, now fails inspection. 3 keycap weak workholding, the silent shift. Your setup feels solid, but micro vibrations. Tiny part movement. Uneven clamping force. Result. White right pointing backhand index inconsistent sizes. White right pointing backhand index bad alignment. White right pointing backhand index hidden geometric errors. Finish illusion. The part looks smooth, but inspection checks raw values. Micro imperfections. Tool marks. White right pointing backhand index visual perfection is not equal to technical perfection. Electric light bulb solution, 7:30 to 9 o'clock. So how do you fix this? Here's the pro mindset shift. White heavy check mark control tool life. Track tool usage. Replace before failure, not after. White heavy check mark manage heat. Use proper coolant. Let parts stabilize before measuring. White heavy check mark improve work holding. Use rigid setups. Check clamping pressure consistency. White heavy check mark calibrate regularly. Don't trust blindly. Verify machine accuracy. White heavy check mark account for reality. Add tool deflection compensation. Adjust offsets after trial cuts. White heavy check mark measure smart. Use calibrated instruments. Measure at correct locations. Double check critical dimensions. White right pointing backhand index. The difference between failure and perfection is not skill alone, it's attention to hidden details. Next time your CNC part fails inspection, don't just blame the machine. Ask yourself, white right pointing backhand index, what hidden error did I miss? White right pointing backhand index, what did I assume instead of verify? Because mastering CNC is not about avoiding mistakes, it's about detecting what others can't see. Speech balloon. Have you ever faced a perfect looking part that still failed? White down pointing backhand index. Drop your experience in the comments. Thumbs up sign like if this helped you. Repeat button share with fellow machinists. Bell follow for more CNC insights that actually save your parts.